What's up, everybody? It's Alyxx from Heavy New York back at my house, and this is a very special episode because we are here with another fellow Alyxx and another fellow 845er.
Yes.
Match made in heaven, right?
Totally.
Yeah, it's so awesome to have you here. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, driving through the storm from Rockland County to
With
here.
my sunroof open.
That sucks.
I didn't, because it was fine, and then all of a sudden I hit this one spot, and all of a sudden just downpoured, and I was like, oh my god, wait.
And now it's bright and sunny out.
Of
The
course.
weather's like totally.
But once I
fucking
get in the car, it's gonna start raining again.
Yep, that's exactly how it goes. Once we go on the roof after this, it's gonna start raining again.
So it's fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
But This War is your latest single, and it's an absolutely awesome song.
Thank you.
When are we getting a new album? Let's start with that.
Well, I'm writing one now, so I don't have a timeline, and I don't want to set a timeline because things are like unrealistic. But hopefully by the end of this year, I'll at least have everything like written and recorded. So
Awesome.
that's the plan.
Yeah, is it going to be similar to the last EP that you put out, or are you experimenting with your sound?
I'm kind of experimenting a little bit, trying to get some more like new age sounds, because I feel like the EP that I had is very just like kind of standard, and rock is kind of changing and adding some like pop elements. I don't want to break away too much from rock, but just have some more like, I guess, I don't want to say EDM, but like techno influences on it.
That's awesome. I love it when like rock and metal do have kind of like that techno element. Like, I don't know if you heard of this band called Crossfaith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear their latest album?
No, I suck.
It's so awesome, but like
Okay,
that's
sure.
kind of like what I'm picturing.
Okay, exactly.
Was that a preconceived idea, or did it just happen that way?
Just the sound kept changing, and I feel like This War is the first song that we were really like established as a band, because I write the songs on piano and I come in and I'm like, okay, this is the song, let's go. And taking over was really just me and Frank, and then when I had this EP, that's when Zachy and Dean came into it. And so we weren't really like a band. It was just kind of like everyone's kind of writing to something I already wrote, and it was I feel like it was really rushed. So we didn't have a lot of time to really figure each other out. And then This War came, and we all kind of knew where everything went. It just felt so much more natural.
Yeah, and especially because Zachy and Dean are in like 25 other bands.
Yep.
Like, there have been so many times where like I've run into Zach being like, what are you doing here? He goes, oh, I'm playing with this band. I'm like, oh, another band on your roster?
Yeah.
But working with other musicians who play in other projects definitely have to help your sound a bit, right?
It does, and it's cool because everyone is very different. Like, as I was telling you before, like, I grew up doing theater, so I have a very theater background, but I also listen to metal. Frank, who plays guitar, is very like bluesy, like classic rock. Dean is more of like a punk rock kind of
Played
guy.
with Michael Graves.
Yeah, exactly. And then Zachy's just a total metalhead. So I think the sound, especially with This War, you can hear different elements of like all of those styles together. A lot of the guitar stuff is very bluesy. And then I have this piano that sounds honestly kind of like a Broadway song, sounds like a Jason Robert Brown song. And then everything else just kind of fits together.
Does your background in theater, like, can some people tell that you have like a background in theater? Does that influence your songwriting, or were you trying to maybe distance yourself from your theater background and do something completely different?
Yeah. Well, the problem is everyone used to tell me I sound like Ariel, and I do naturally have a very theater voice, and I try really hard to break away from that. And then I've been told I sound country, which to me is funny, but I don't sound country. To me, that's theater. That's like that twang theater pop like sound, which comes way too natural to me. But I want to have like that grit and that raspy tone that I don't have. So I've been working really hard the past 2 years to kind of like morph my voice to fit the genre that I want to sound like. So.
Mm-hmm. What is like the sort of genre you want to sound like? Because I see multiple I see multiple elements in your sound. I think you have a fairly experimental style.
Thank you. I mean, I would love to sound like Lizzie Hale, but I will never have that tone. I don't think anybody else in the world sounds like her. But that kind of like grit and like raspiness that she has, I was heavily influenced by Evanescence. So that's because she's like that kind of soft tone, but it's still powerful. And I feel like I have a similar tone to her. But I want to have like that rasp, like Lizzie Hale.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with that. I just saw her at Sonic Temple, and just her energy is just impressive as all hell.
I've seen them 4 times.
So will I think. No, 3.
I was like, I should definitely seen them more than that.
Mhm. But something I'm curious about is because your lyrics, I could tell that you are very personal with your music. Do you come up with lyrics beforehand or even a subject matter before you write music, or do you need to write music before you come up with lyrics?
I have to write music. I'll sit at the piano, and a lot of times, I think actually this word came about because I was giving myself a warm up and I played the wrong note. And I was like, that sounds cool. And then like I went back, and honestly, a lot of times my writing is me playing some other song and then playing the wrong notes, and then thinking like hearing where that could have went, and then that's how I start writing. But you know, I have to write the music first,
Yeah.
and a lot of times I'll just open my mouth, and what comes out is usually right then and there.
Really? So you most of your songs are kind of by accident in a way?
A lot of my songs are by accident. Like one of the new songs that I'm writing is called Rebel, and it's completely accidental. But I was also like, I don't even know what song I was playing. I was playing something, and then it went wrong. And then I figured out this other little like kind of lead part. So
Interesting. It's funny because so it's fair to say that when you start a song, it could end up being completely different than when you first started it, right?
oh yeah, definitely. That's happened a lot.
Do you ever like look back at what the songs previously sounded like and then compare it to the finished product?
Yeah,
And
definitely. Like there's a song I have called "Lose It All," and I originally wrote it as a joke because I was doing another project and we wanted to do like a Christmas song, and we were trying to think of like things that people don't normally do, and of course my twisted mind was like, no one wrote a song about Krampus, so I wrote a song called Krampus the Musical, which is now "Lose It All," and I just changed the lyrics, and the music is all the same. And then we like, obviously with the band, they added their own elements to it, but it was all done on piano, and it's the exact same song.
well, the intro to "Sweet Child of Mine" was originally written as a joke.
That's true.
So, I mean, I guess having a good sense of humor has got to help your band one way or another, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you're playing live, kind of going back to your theater background, is there a completely different art to playing with a band and performing live than it was with theater at all?
Yeah, well, with theater, you're still playing with like live instruments, but it's just, I mean, you're sitting on stage and you have to like keep your eyes open and like act through the song and like stare out into the audience, and like with rock you can close, it sounds so stupid, but with rock you can close your eyes, and that's something that like I always wanted to do on stage, because there are some songs, like sometimes when things are just very like personal and intense, like you have to like close your eyes for a second, and I would always get yelled at by like directors being like, you have to keep your eyes open. But the fact that I can just kind of do whatever feels natural, and it's like me singing the song, not me acting through somebody.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more powerful, I think.
And I think either way, when you're playing with a band, eyes closed or open, you are still kind of interacting with the crowd one way or another.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it's me making the choices that I want to do versus a director telling me what I have to do.
Of course.
So.
Of course. Do you try to play the material exactly how it sounds on the album live, or do you try to make your live presence like nothing you could experience just from listening?
In terms of the music, I mean, I do use backing tracks because I could, but I don't want to play piano and synth while I'm singing, because to me that loses that whole interaction with the audience, and I can't be out there playing if I'm stuck behind a keyboard. And as of right now, like I don't have a keyboard player. It's just me. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I try to keep the music very close, but sometimes like vocally I'll go off on a tangent or something.
Really? Oh, so like you forget lyrics and then...
No, like I'll just start like riffing randomly or like changing notes, making them higher or whatever.
Awesome. Anything can go on a live presence.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, something I really found funny, and I kind of wanted to ask you this actually, because for those of you who don't know, we were in the All That Remains music video shoot together for Everything's Wrong. You could see us headbanging behind Jason Richardson.
There's the whole clip of us just like...
Yeah, I don't know about you, but my neck was killing me for about a week after that shoot.
Fun fact about that shoot. You know, there was like the curtain behind the stage. Me and my sister were just dancing around like a bunch of idiots because we always do things like that. The curtain was closed and no one could see us. And I'm sore because we were dancing around in the back versus the headbanging.
Is it me or was that the coldest thing? That was the coldest I think I've ever been in my life.
It was a cold day, and they had all the doors open because they kept moving things in and out, and it didn't occur to anyone, I guess, to close
I was
the
able to
door.
see my own breath in the music video.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Yeah. But there's still, when you're performing, are you kind of portraying yourself on stage? Like, is this coming from in, or are you kind of maybe portraying another character, or kind of going outside yourself a little bit?
I'm definitely going outside myself. I'm not, how do I say this? I have feelings, but I'm not one to express my feelings unless it's through song. So I don't like to talk about my feelings. I don't like to be vulnerable, I guess. So when I'm on stage, I like kind of compartmentalize who I am and just kind of step outside myself. So like I feel like I'm a different person when I'm on stage, and like I have all this energy, and I'm just vulnerable and like emotional, and I get off stage and I'm right back to like just stone cold.
That's actually pretty funny. It's kind of so. What about when you're practicing?
It depends. If we're just like jamming, then I'm not really thinking that. But if we're like actually having like a practice before a show, then same kind of concept.
So you kind of have to practice getting into yourself and getting in your own mindset as well. Is there anything that does come naturally in it?
Well, again, I think it's the acting background to where like I like to act through the songs instead of just like singing them, because to me, it's just singing and sounding like pretty is one thing, but being able to like emote feeling through the song is like really what I try to do, especially live. So it's just really just thinking about what it is that I'm saying to get into it.
Fascinating. And being a fellow Rockland County, where we're both from, I mean, I remember I got out of there as quickly as possible. So as soon as I turned 18, I got the hell out of there. But
I'm still there.
yeah. But from what I remember, I've heard so many people saying that they were going to Nyack for the weekend or some other obscure place I've never even heard. I heard there is a bit of a rock scene in Rockland, right? I mean, Coheed and Cambria is from there.
That is true. It's funny. There's a rock scene from Rockland, but we don't really play in Rockland because there's nowhere to play anymore.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, remember there was like Backdoor? That was huge.
I heard of it, but I never
You
been.
never went? What?
I told you, I moved to New York City as soon as I
God.
was even old enough to go into some of those
Well,
places.
you're younger than me, I think.
I'm 25.
That's why he's like, okay,
Okay.
not by much. But no, it was right in Nyack. It was like that old church.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
I thought that was the Nyack Center, but
Oh, maybe they changed the name.
Okay,
Let's talk about Backdoor. But yeah, I mean, those were all like the bands, and a bunch of them ended up like moving to like LA and like doing other things. And I think, just like a lot of people are in those bands.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is there still places to play, or?
I mean, there's like Olive, but that's about it. In terms of Rockland, yeah.
Really? Because Rockland, I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, I remember some local bands in Suffern would play at the community center, and you weren't allowed to play any songs that had cursing in it.
Really? Oh my god, it's typical. But yeah, no, there's nowhere really to play.
So you find yourself coming to New York City to play more, or just going anywhere else, pretty much, right?
Pretty much. I mean, obviously there's Dingbats, but that's not Rockland.
Yeah, that's.
Dingbats and Demonair. They're close though.
Yeah, and you're coming to Blackthorn in Queens. You're going to Revolution in Long Island.
It's true. I've never been to Revolution, so I'm excited.
It's an awesome spot.
I've seen everybody else perform there, so it looks cool.
Oh, so you've seen it?
No, I've seen like other people that I'm friends with who have played there, and like their videos and pictures and stuff. I've never physically been there.
Okay, it's an awesome spot, and the food there is spectacular.
Yes.
Yes.
Everything good food.
Yeah, it's the only venue I've been to that has food. Do you know how hard it is to go to a show right after work when you haven't eaten?
Oh no. There was a place, it's like McCulney's Bar and something.
Yes.
Okay.
I saw all that remains there.
Really? What did I see there? I saw a Hinder and Nonpoint.
Okay.
I got a pretzel there, and it was literally like this big, and I was like, it's $15 for a pretzel, and then I saw the size of it. I'm like,
You got your money's worth.
I was like, this will feed everybody.
Yeah, which is
so good though.
Which is awesome. So before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time. This was super fun.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Yeah, is there just anything else you would like to promote? Obviously, we got the Revolution show coming up. We got Blackthorn August 11th.
Yep.
Is there just anything else you would like to promote? When could we be expecting the new album?
That I don't have a date. I don't want to say anything, but it's probably going to be early next year.
Early next year?
Yeah.
Something to look forward to in 2020.
Yes, hopefully, and hopefully a new video too, because I need to do one.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Alyxx.
Thank you.
Everybody, we are here with Alyxx. New music coming in 2020. We'll see you next time on Heavy New York.
Bye.